Peter, what are you doing?
Crack.
What the fuck? Hey, at least I'm not drinking, Brian. Yeah, this isn't exactly a good substitute. Where'd you get crack?
I got the crack from Psy Games. That's right, they devised perhaps the most addictive gacha game known to mankind, and perhaps to horses, of course. That's right, guys, I'm playing Uma Musume, the now hit gacha mobile game where you gamble for anime horse girls and watch them race as you train them up to help them achieve their dreams of being the best they possibly can be. Now I know what you're thinking, viewer-kun. Why, Jade, are you playing slots with extra steps? Once again, this shit is crack. It has a sort of raising sim-ish style of gameplay that is extremely addictive. It has some of the best visuals in a gacha mobile game that I've seen in a long time that isn't Chinese. We'll get to that in a second. The characters are genuinely endearing and inspiring, on top of also having some really fucking nice idol music. If you're into fucking like Love Live or just any fucking idol Japanese shit, you probably would really like this too. And of course, the fact that it's like playing slots, but it's in your pocket. It's on a fucking pocket device.
Bruh.
Oh my god, bro.
Hell no, man. What the fuck?
These type of games I typically don't recommend for people with a lower bankroll or if you're trying to build up your bankroll. Huge mistake that slot players make all the time is playing games like this one and then thinking that the casino or the machine itself is tight, when in actuality, this is how these games are designed to play out. You're giving up a lot of that consistency factor for the chance to win.
When you want to say spend money in Japanese, you need to say use money. お金を使う.
So the main gameplay loop of Uma Musume involves picking one of your trainees, one of your cute horse girl trainees, and then raising her parameters such as speed, power, stamina, guts, or wit in order to improve her performance in races. You're doing that while dealing with sort of RNG random events as well as story situations, and also having to manage her energy and her mood. So there really is this sort of caretaker, almost Digimon-esque vibe to it if you've played any of the Digimon World games, where you're sort of like taking care of and raising up this anime girl so she can hit her full potential. And if she doesn't hit her full potential, then it means you're a fucking piece of shit trainer and you should have tried harder. Or at least that's how I feel. I feel so fucking bad when you fail. You feel so bad when you fail. The game also has an amazingly difficult learning curve. I'm actually surprised at how obtuse and not necessarily intuitive a lot of these elements can be. You've got people doing all kinds of fucking research. It's brought it out of me too, where you're just looking up a bunch of stuff, looking up like the theory behind how to raise stats very quickly and very aggressively to the highest level that you can. We're like gaining PhDs in horse girl racing over a fucking mobile game. It's unbelievable. Don't believe me? Go look up a fucking like how-to guide on this stuff. The amount of fucking number crunching. People are busting out graphs and they're analyzing data, comparing data. It's ridiculous.
Your Uma's max HP is determined by this formula. It will be a 0.8 times your strategy coefficient times the stamina stat plus the course distance in meters. We have the different strategy coefficients here. Let's move over to this graph I made for a 2400 meter medium turf track. We can see that for the red line is for the front runner, the blue line is for pace chaser, the green line is for late surger, and the purple line is for end closer. We're going to take a closer look at the front runner formula, and we can see here that for the difference between 500 stamina and 1200 stamina, or 700 points, there's only a difference of 532 HP.
I don't think I've ever seen a fan base go this far for a gacha game, but it's honestly really fun. Now, an interesting angle to all this that I've been really thinking about recently is how this is perhaps the most explosively popular Japanese gacha game in a very long time, because despite the fact that gacha conceptually was created in Japan, I would say that in the last decade or so, the games that have really been popular, really been dominant on an international level, have all been games from China or Korea or some unholy mixture of the two. The Chinese invasion of the video game market has been really fascinating to watch, especially in the case of things like Hoyoverse and how they've essentially had a stranglehold over the market for like the last half a decade or so, with things like Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, and now Zenless Zone Zero. So very fascinating to see Uma Musume really take off in an era like this. The reason I think that this is possible is because it's perhaps one of the most modern feeling Japanese gacha games. A lot of the gacha games on the market that originate in Japan are some of the oldest games in the genre. And the downside to that is that a lot of them are extremely dated in ways. Like if you've ever like fired up something like Fate Grand Order or even like Grand Blue Fantasy, you'll see what the fuck I mean. Not just in terms of the graphical fidelity of the games, but things like UI, for example, is like a huge one. You may not think that that's super important for a game's like success, but it's, in my opinion, especially for the normie audience, it is perhaps one of the most important things ever. It's just UI and visual fidelity. If you make something that looks good, people are gonna want to at least give it a try. And if it actually is good, then you have a smash hit on your hands. Uma Musume looking as good as it does is a huge reason why people are willing to give it a shot in the first place. And then when they actually do try it and realize that the gameplay is genuinely fun and addictive, they stick around. Visual fidelity is a huge factor in why Hoyoverse has been able to be so dominant over the long stretch of period that it has been dominant. Is that when Genshin Impact came out, there were literally no other gacha games on the market that were exactly like it. It was a huge step up in terms of like visual look and like gameplay experience. But yeah, I actually have a lot to say on this topic of how like gambling simulators, gambling for anime girls has become such a big thing internationally now. But I would rather farm engagement by breaking it down into multiple videos and better aggregating my thoughts on certain topics, such as the Chinese invasion of video games. That's an interesting one. But yeah, that's the main meat and potatoes of what I wanted to say. Just trying to like throw some stuff out there, get more used to just making stuff again, yada yada yada. We've been through the song and dance before. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, usual shit. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. And may we meet again.